Hey, Rose, how are you? Today has been a very interesting day, so we're just going to do a straight check-in on the energies and the trajectories. It feels like there's a timeline shuffle, and I was seeing like three different groups of like people moving in different places. Like there's a reshuffling happening. Like things that came in are exiting, and things that were gone are coming back. That's kind of what I'm seeing. It feels like this process has been underway. There is a lot of old contracts, especially karmic type contracts, being cleaned out. Um, some of them are current, some of them are very ancient. So just curious if you guys are feeling into any of that. There's definitely been this energy of needing, whoa, Five of Wands in reverse, very good. I was actually going to say there's this feeling of really needing to focus on being grounded and getting into the body at times, but then it feels like a lot easier to do. But you may notice that there's a few times throughout the day where you just have to recenter, like pull in your breath, connect with the earth, connect with your heart, just allowing your energy to ground in. That was the message I was going to say before this 501. So hopefully flew out of the deck. So it's definitely, to me, this almost feels like a tower moment. Like there is a lot of things crumbling, ending, and falling apart. But what it feels like when I'm feeling into this is actually it's the things that weren't actually in the highest alignment that are falling apart. So if people were trying to attempt to force connections that really weren't in their highest alignment, or forcing jobs or homes or careers or moves or relationships, whatever it is, if there was any energy of forcing, it's falling apart. Any forms of attempting to create a connection or establish something where it wasn't in that alignment, like it's literally disappearing, it's literally falling apart and fading. And really, the only thing that you have to do within these energies is continue to surrender to your highest timeline and take steps. When I say surrender, it's like you don't have to have it all figured out. Because the thing is there's a lot of things we're capable of doing. There's a lot of things we're able to do. That doesn't mean they're ours to do. You get what I'm saying? It's like in the past, we would think about, oh, I could do this and I could do that. And then we try to almost forcefully create a pathway for ourselves versus kind of sitting back and saying, okay, what's actually flowing naturally? What does the highest energy want for me? What feels right when I tune into that? And I think this goes back to Monday's message around it might not always be in the exact order that you think. And I'm going to drop that in the pin comment for you guys in case you want to connect with that. But it's not even that what you're asking for isn't what's in alignment. What you're thinking it is may be the exact thing that's in alignment, but it's not coming about in the way that you think. It might not be the person, place, or thing that you thought. It might not be this certain trajectory you thought it was going to be. Even if at one point it all seemed to line up, but it really, consider it practice. Okay. Consider it a practice. You learn something. We know that we learn something in every experience, and then allow it to unravel if it's not truly in your alignment. Like there's things that can seem like they're a match, like they're the perfect thing, and then you start to get into them and um maybe it's not quite a match, or you realize, you know what, I thought this was what I wanted, but for some reason it's just not feeling right for me, or it's not the right timing, or I'm being guided to step back because there's something else coming. That's happened to me before where, excuse me, I've gotten opportunities that seem like a no-brainer, And I couldn't follow through with it because I could feel that there was other things coming. And I've learned over time to just to trust that feeling sometimes over the logic. But sometimes we're also guided strongly to do things and then they still fall apart, right? I believe when that happens, your intuition was still spot on. And I'm going to tell you why. I believe that because there was something in that experience for you that you needed lessons, information, connections. There is always something to extract from whatever choice that you made. And I'm a firm believer that if your intuition guided you towards it, then it was for a definite reason. Even if it was like, oh my gosh, this is it. And then you're there for a couple weeks and you're like, dude, this is not it. That happened to me one time when I got a job. But what happened was at that job, I learned a whole bunch of skills that I used when I had my own business, just in like a 6 week pocket. So just trust your intuition, trust what it's guiding you to, and know that even if you don't stay there or you're not attached to it, things will keep moving forward for you. Okay. I didn't know I was going to talk so much on that one. I think these messages are important because so much is changing around us, in the world, within us. There's lots and lots of shifts coming up. And to me, right now, what I'm feeling into, I know it's like going into the holiday season, but that's not what this feels like about to me. This feels like deeper core level shifts that people are going through. And I'm getting this sense lately that people who haven't been paying attention to their intuition or that higher guidance, like things just aren't working and they're starting to crumble and fall apart. Um, so I don't know, I'm getting like just be aware of that, friends, family, whatever, coworkers, you might notice it around you. Just allow yourself to stabilize with whatever is happening for you and stabilize knowing that it's leading you to that higher path that you've been asking for. That's coming through. Wow. Okay, we got another five. We got the Five of Pentacles. This is really crazy. I've worked with this deck for years. I've never seen this and I've never gotten that energy. But something about this scarf on her, like immediately, it felt like aloe vera. And what's coming to me is that for those of you that have been grieving or doing very deep emotional work, there is a soothing that's coming in to support you. There's going to be some support coming in. You've been collecting your keys and your coins and learning what you could from the sadness. But now there's this nice, comforting, soothing energy that's going to be coming in to support you. Okay. And this is interesting because fives are tough, generally, energy. They're definitely about change, especially when you get two back to back. But the energy is coming way different today. And they feel like that those energies are like turning around. So for those of you that have been struggling, it's like the struggles are going to be falling apart and allowing for new, more soothing energy. And for those that were in resistance to what was actually meant for them, that is actually going to create some shifts. I got the word disturbances, but they feel ultimately at the end of the day like good shifts. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like the places and spaces where they were stuck and didn't even realize it, the things that were maybe stopping them from actually manifesting what they wanted, that's what's dissolving and falling apart. Alrighty. And we got the Three of Cups. It does feel that there's going to be more communities coming together or more connections coming together in a new way. It feels very much like this soul family vibe. And I think as I mentioned the holidays earlier, maybe that's part of the shift I'm feeling too, is that it's kind of like the old stories, the old rigid structures around these holidays. It's like we can release those, but still get together and celebrate in a heart-centered space. Okay, there's a lightness to this energy that's coming up that I haven't felt in quite some time. And now this is even giving me, for some reason, like a New Year's Eve energy. If you guys have been here with me for any amount of time, this is not a very typical reading that I do, but I have been changing up some energies and opening up to a lot of new things. So it feels like those energies are starting to come through on the channel for you as well. I hope they're supportive. But what I'm getting is like from now to the new year, there's like kind of a sloughing off of the old, a more opening to the new as that soothing is happening. And then there's like a brightness and a lightness that we're going to be able to experience in a way that we haven't before. And I'm getting the message that well, I'm not talking about the whole necessary planet is going to look all light and bright. But I feel like those that have been doing their work right along over these last few years, there is such a deep sense of relief that I'm feeling with this aloe and this open light airiness. There's definitely relief, comfort, space, like a new energy that those of you that have been doing your deep work, emotional work, staying on top of things are going, you might already be feeling some of that relief. I know that I have been, and it's kind of been like a flip-flop. Like we're in and out, but it's gonna get stronger and stronger in that energy as long as you allow yourself to receive it and participate in it and open up to it. And also what's coming through is actually fully allow yourself to embody it, regardless of what's happening with everyone around you. Okay. Even if the people that you love might be going through some struggles, but you're feeling this, just keep allowing yourself to embody it because your stabilization and your ability to hold these frequencies and energies and codes while the other things are dissipating is actually going to support their process in being a bit gentler than what we had to go through. And I hope, I mean, I don't really know, but it feels like it'll be gentler in the sense that, like, well, we were at the forefront. We had no one waiting for us on the other side. Like, we were the ones crumbling out through, stumbling and crumbling and crawling through to the other side. Like, as they're coming through, we're going to be there already stable. So pat yourself on the back, give yourself a hug, give yourself a high five, and like the things you've been working for are on their way. As long as you remember to just continue to align with what's for you, drop into your authenticity, ask for that faded higher purpose of what your soul chose before you came here, and allow your soul and your higher self and your heart to lead you. It just feels like so much opening is coming. All right, I'm going to do one more. And I just want to round it out, see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Strength. Just to reiterate everything and recap the messages that just came through, continue to allow yourself to stabilize and balance in this strength. There's very much a stability in your energetic field that others can feel. Even in the moments where you might feel ungrounded or a little bit like, wow, there's a lot going on today, you're still holding a more grounded and stabilized space than probably a majority of the people around you. So there's like that centered, peaceful energy. and the strong, stable strength to support it. Okay. So this feels very solid. Remember this even in the moments where things are coming up. I have this very strong feeling that even if things are a bit chaotic and hectic in our world, like they seem to just generally be, it's not affecting you the same. I would love to hear from you. Drop in the comments. Let me know if that's true. If you look back 3 or 4 years ago, are you handling it different? Are you viewing it different? Are you participating in it differently? And if so, if you found things that help and you want to share them in the comments, go ahead. Let's start a conversation around it. Whatever's working for you, or, if there's things that you're wanting support with around this, like this stabilization energy within yourself, even when all the changes are happening, let me know. Drop it down. We'll get some more information if you want that. Okay, loves. But either way, does seem that there's some shifts happening. Well, we know that there always are, but they seem particularly intense at the moment. There does seem to be that there's going to be a lot of collective shifting. We do have the 11/11 and the new moon coming up soon, actually, really soon, because this month it's already going by pretty fast. Wow, okay. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Okay, so yes, there you have it. I hope it was helpful. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.